Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I live in the Villages, Florida, and I look at trends both nationwide in real estate and in the Villages and its surrounding areas. First, this is our last show before the end of the year. Thank you to all of our new subscribers and our existing subscribers. We really appreciate the encouragement. With that said, if you aren't a subscriber and you find the information useful, please consider subscribing and or liking the video. It really helps us with YouTube. So with that out of the way, a couple of things. First, we produce this show every week. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. Secondly, all of this information is drawn from the multiple listing service. Does not include any information from the Village's own listing service, the VLS. For that reason, if you're a buyer, you really need two representatives showing you properties on the VLS and the MLS, or you will not see all properties for sale. Similarly, if you're a seller, you need to decide if you want to expose your property to the market through the VLS or the MLS. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'll be happy to advise you. We've made a number of changes during this year, and we have a big announcement coming up next week. As always, we start by taking a look at interest rates. Interest rates really drive most real asset prices, especially those that are financed. And what you're looking at here is the interest rate on the government 10-year note. Going back to March of 2020, when the yield on the government 10-year note was 0.4%. It got up to almost 5% earlier this year, and it's currently just below 4%. What that means for mortgage rates is that they increased to 8% and have currently dropped to just below 7%. This may make homes more affordable for buyers. We'll have to wait and see how much of an effect this has. Let's take a look now at what's happening specifically in the villages. I'm going to start by showing you this map, which is a map of all of the active listings in the villages currently. On this map, the size of the property is indicated by the size of the circle, and the color of the circle denotes the price per square foot. The more expensive per square foot, the lighter the circle, the larger the home, the larger the circle. And we're also going to break a lot of this information down by region. Let me show you the regions, and we're going to take a look at how many active listings there are in each of them. This is the first of the regions. It's what I refer to as the North region, bounded on the north by Highway 42 and on the south by Highway 466. On all of these regional maps, the same thing applies. The size of the circle, the size of the house, the color of the circle, the price per square foot. The lighter the circle, the more expensive per square foot the house is. This is the area I refer to as Mid-North. It's bounded by 466 on the north and by 466A on the south. This is the area I'm calling the Mid-South, bounded by 466A on the north and by 44 on the south. Keep in mind that using this analysis, we're able to take a look at any area, look at how many properties are currently available, properties that sold, properties that went pending, over any period really, and we can get a good idea as to a price trend or what a good price might be for any specific region of the villages. And finally, this is the area we're calling the South. This is everything south of 44. A comment on our YouTube channel last week alerted us to the fact that the number of previously owned homes for sale on the VLS in the South is far greater than the number of homes for sale in the South on the MLS. We'll try to determine what the distribution of listings in areas other than the South is between VLS and MLS, but certainly on a superficial examination, the number of listings in the South on VLS is far exceeds the number on MLS. So we're going to start with some long-term charts. Here we're looking at the total number of listings in the villages going back to April of 2022. This week, the number of active listings is 349, the same as last week. It was 278 for the same week a year ago. Prices range in the villages from $150,000 to $2.5 million. Another long-term trend chart. We're looking at the median listing price per square foot for all of the listings in the villages. This week, it's $262.01, up from the $261.87 of last week. and down very slightly from the 269.78 of a year ago. It looks as though the median listing price has been steady to rising over the last 6 months. One more long-term chart before we take a look at the regional breakdown. This is the median time on the market for all listings in the villages. This week, 53 days, up from the 49 days of last week, and about the same as the 50 days on the market median time last year. Here we start looking at things on a regional basis. As you can see, I've broken it down into north, middle south, and southern regions. What you're looking at is the number of listings, the median size of the listings in that region, and the median price for all of the listings in that region. So for example, in the entirety of the villages, 349 total listings, median size of 1,527 square feet, and a median price of $395. In the south, there are 35 properties for sale, median size of 1,510 and a median price of $435. Compare that to the north that has 173 properties currently listed. Once again, I really need to point out that the south representation on MLS might be misleading. Here's another look at all of the listings, also broken down by region. Here you can see how many listings there are in each price segment, both for all regions of the villages and for each of the 4 individual regions of the villages. For example, in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, there are 137 total listings for sale. Of that, the north has 83, the middle north 29, the middle south 13, and the south only 11. And our last look at all of the listings, we're looking at how long listings have been on the market. This is the median listing time on the market, both for the villages as a whole and for the 4 regions. So reading this, you can see that for the villages, the median time on the market is 49 days, and there are 68 properties that have been on the market for over 100 days. In the north, the median time on the market is 53 days, and there are 43 properties that have been on the market for over 100 days. Interestingly enough, the south has a median time on the market of 40 days, but I can't recall the last time we've seen a property in the south be on the market for over 100 days. Now we come to new and pending. This is weekly new listing and weekly homes going pending. We happen to think this is a very significant data point. It shows how many properties have entered the market via new listings and how many have left the market via going pending for each of the preceding 7 days. For the last week, number of new listings was 18, down from the 31 of the previous week, and the number of homes going pending was 16, down from the 22 going pending the previous week, compared to 12 and 24 for the same period a year ago. It's interesting to note that a year ago, the number of homes going pending was twice the number of new listings. This year, they're barely even. And also, if you take a look at this graph, the gray line is the number of homes going pending, and the blue line is the number of new listings. And it seems quite apparent that since May, the number of homes going pending has been steadily decreasing week by week. We'll have to hope that this is seasonal and follows the same trends that we saw where the number of homes going pending started increasing around the middle of January. It's also interesting and perhaps foreboding that of the 16 homes that went pending last week, only 2 did not have a price reduction. On a more cheery note, the same data, i.e. the homes that went pending over the last 7 days, went pending at a price of $263.20 a foot, which was quite an improvement from the $249.97 of the week before, and about the same as the $267.56 of a year before. Keep in mind, this graph is showing you a 4-week moving average. Here we take another look at the homes that went pending last week. This is the price change from the original listing price, a median reduction of 4.9% compared to a median reduction of 2.79 the week before. Big improvement still from the 7.59% median reduction that was in effect the same week a year ago. Here's a shocking graph. This is the median time on the market for those homes that went pending, 81 days compared to 37 days the week before, and compared to only 20 days for the same week a year ago. 81 days is by far the highest number we've seen so far. Another look at the homes that went pending. When you see graphs of this type, these are based on the last 60 days of data, whereas when we look at the trending graphs, those are weekly data points plotted back almost 2 years now. So for example, we're looking here at pending. 99 homes went pending in the villages over the last 60 days. Median size was 1,617 feet and the median price $385,000. In the north, 41 homes went pending, median size of 1,527 and a median price of $350,000. In the south, 4 homes went pending over the last 60 days. Keep in mind this is only MLS, it doesn't include VLS. I don't have access to that data. Now we'll take a look at the homes that sold and closed over the last 7 days. They numbered 17 compared to 31 of the previous week and lower than the 21 of the same week a year ago. Homes that closed range in price from $239,000 to $800,000. Here's the price realized per square foot on the homes that sold and closed last week, $245, down from the $251 of the previous week, almost identical to the $244 of the same week a year ago. Even though this graph is a smooth 4-week average, you can see that prices have been between $240 and $255 for a year now. Another quick trend graph. This is the median time on the market for the homes that sold and closed last week. 50 days compared to 39 days of the previous week and compared to 56 days the same week a year ago. And we're going to close with this slide, which shows all transactions that closed on the MLS over the last 60 days in the villages. 215 closed, median size 1,559 square feet, median price $384,000. 109 of those were in the north, 71 the middle north, 20 the middle south, and 15 in the south. Remember that with our technology, we're able to zoom in on any area of the villages and examine homes by size, by price, by year, by any feature you might desire. We can determine what similar homes have sold for and what you might want to pay for your future home yourself. So if I can help you, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to answer any questions about life in the villages. Before I go, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year. We'll see you in the new year. I hope to hear from you then. Take care.